Don't touch it, Sarah warned, sipping her lemonade as Mark Tanner twitched on the ground like a broken toy. His suit jacket smoked faintly, one loafer had flown into the dirt, and his clipboard stood upright by the gatepost, still clutching a form labeled SAW Notice of Unauthorized Structure, Code 14B SAW. The noise coming from him was half-gasp, half-dial-up modem in its death throes. Sarah leaned on the porch rail, unfazed. City folks never learn until something zaps them. 3 hours earlier, Mark had woken with a fire in his gut no coffee could match. He lived for HOA rules. Fences had to match. Mailboxes had to be Times New Roman. Rules were the scaffolding of society, and he was the guy with the hammer. This week, he'd set his sights on a ranch at the edge of HOA turf. The Harper family had built a monstrous steel gate, wired with electricity, decorated with cow skulls, and topped with a sign. Saw if the bears don't get you, we will. Saw to Mark, it was a middle finger to civilization. The drive out was a dusty, slogged potholes deep enough to have names, a mailbox shaped like a rifle, and a cow that stared like it knew his social security number. By the time he reached the gate, he was itching to tear it down. It looked like something from a post-apocalyptic Western, cobbled together with barbed wire and a battery the size of a toolbox. It hummed softly like a fridge on its last legs. Mark, smug in his gloves, figured the buzz was for show. He grabbed the latch. Big mistake. When he came to, Sarah Harper stood over him, her dog Newton sniffing his slacks with mild disgust. "You good?" she asked, not really caring. "Smell like burnt toast." Mark staggered up. "Ma'am, this gate's illegal." Sarah cut him off. "We're outside your jurisdiction. Check with my cousin in the county office. Fax the proof." Mark adjusted his singed tie. "Your cousin ain't the law." "Close enough," she shot back. "We had bears last year. This gate's why we still got chickens and a mailman." Mark doubled down. "You can't electrify stuff willy-nilly." Sarah shrugged. "You zap fences in the burbs to keep kids out of pools. We do it to keep bears from eating Newton." The dog wagged once. "This could kill someone," Mark snapped. "Only if they're real dumb and grab it with both hands. You used one. That's why you're breathing." Mark stormed off, pausing only when Newton peed on his Prius's tire. Sarah whistled Sweet Home Alabama saw as he peeled out. Back at HOA HQA strip mall office with bad fluorescent lights, Mark filed a complaint. Nobody cared. They were too busy fighting over donuts. So he did something reckless. He set up a wildlife cam by the Harper Gate, calling it research. Really, it was spite. That night, at 2:12 a.m., the camera pinged. The gate sparked, then the screen flickered. A shadow crossed the frame big, hunched, moving too fast. It wasn't a bear. It walked on two legs, dragging something heavy. A wet, guttural growl followed, and the feed cut to black. Mark watched it 17 times, each loop making the shape seem more sinister. He didn't sleep. Next morning, he was back with tools, a tape measure, and pepper spray. New claw marks scarred the gate past 3 deep slashes. Sarah appeared out of nowhere, nearly making him choke. "You're back," she said. "Didn't think you'd try again after your little dance." Mark pointed at the gate. "This thing's attracting something. I saw it on camera." Sarah's face shifted, not mad, but worried. She glanced at the woods. "It's not the gate. It's what's under it." Mark blinked. "Under?" Sarah sighed. "My granddad said this land's got old grudges. He built that gate after something took his horse-left bones, no blood. Folks called him nuts, but they found tracks. Human, but wrong." Mark's hand shook. "I don't buy ghost stories." Sarah smirked. "Good, 'cause ghosts don't kill your dog." Newton barked, chasing him off. At the HOA meeting, Mark showed the footage to 5 retirees munching muffins. The grainy clip showed sparks, a shadow, and that growl like rocks in a grinder. Mrs. Clara Holt, the board chair, squinted. "You saying this thing attacked the gate?" "Something did," Mark said. "It's big, fast, not a bear." Clara tapped her pen. "You sure you didn't fry your brain with that shock?" Mark snapped. "I've watched it every hour. It's real." Another board member, Doug Willis, chimed in. "Called animal control." They hung up when I said glowing eyes. Clara sighed. "You're on a 72-hour break. Chill out." Mark fumed, but left. He ended up back at the ranch, sipping Sarah's iced tea. You told them about a monster? She teased. I said, unidentified threat, Mark muttered. They told me to take a vacation. Sarah grinned. Welcome to our world. You, me, a nervous dog, and something in the woods we can't name. She pulled out a lockbox with yellowed papers and a charcoal map. Granddad built a bunker in the 60s. Not for nukes, for something in the mines. 3 men vanished down there. No bodies, just claw marks. Mark held a coarse, oily strand. Fur. Doesn't burn, Sarah said. Granddad said thanks. Watches you. The paper showed diagrams, sketches, and a defense plan. The gate was the last piece. Granddad died upgrading it, Sarah said. Something got in the wires. Fried him. Newton barked, sharp and alert. Sarah grabbed a shotgun and tossed Mark boots. Ever run in loafers? You're about to. They sprinted to the gate. It's buzzed louder now. Fresh claw marks gouged the battery case. Newton barked from the barn, its door creaking open. Sarah's flashlight caught the dog rigid, eyes glowing red. Newton, she whispered. The glow vanished. He whimpered. Sarah's voice dropped. It's learning. It knows we're watching. They locked the barn and checked the wires. Inside, Sarah showed Mark the map again. An underground shaft ran beneath the house, marked with a seal, 3 rings slashed by a claw. Granddad didn't just build a defense, she said. He built a cage. Mark saw the same mark on the gate. What if it's not just after the gate? He asked. Sarah met his eyes. Then we better hope it likes electricity. When the HOA tactical team rolled up 5 seniors in camo vests and golf carts, the ranch looked like a war zone. The gate was twisted, blackened. Newton growled at his shadow. The team's leader, Carl Judd, barked, Class 7 violation and possible crypto intrusion. Safety glasses on. Sarah muttered, these guys fight at bingo, not in fields. Mark whispered, 3 are ex-Navy. 1's big in a paintball. Carl planted an HOA flag. Supernatural entities vacate now. The woods stayed silent. Sarah scoffed. It tore through live wire like candy. We need more than this. Mark held up a journal page. I know why. The seal 3 circles, 1 matched a necklace owned by his great-uncle, who vanished here decades ago. Clara Holtz's sister, Mark said. The HOA wasn't about lawns. It was about guarding this thing. Sarah's jaw tightened. They hit it with paperwork. A crack split, the airwood snapping. They ran to a wrecked fence, ground scorched. A shadow loomed on the barn. Huge, oily fur shimmering, eyes like embers. It moved like a man who'd forgotten how. Sarah whispered, it's Granddad. He didn't die. He's part of it. The creature smashed the barn doors. Carl's net launcher missed by a mile. It stepped into the open, not just a beast, but pain and memory twisted into flesh. Carl yelled through a bullhorn, cease and desist. The creature swatted it away, tossing him into a trough. Mark grabbed Sarah, finished the circuit. The shed. They ran, dodging the team's fizzing smoke bombs. In the shed, Mark ripped wires to connect the coil. Sarah hit the primary lever. You're the tanner. It wants you. Be the bait. Mark stepped out. Hey, beast. Want your family? Come get me. It charged. Mark jammed a rod into the dirt as Sarah flipped the switch. Lightning cracked, arcing through the fence, the creature and Mark. The world burned white. He screamed, holding tight. The creature howled, then vanished in a flash. Silence fell. The gate hummed softly. Sarah knelt by Mark. Alive. Kinda. Newton licked his face. They buried the circuit, built a new gate with ancient symbols. The HOA called it a storm issue. Mark quit, stayed to help Sarah rebuild. Sometimes, he'd hear rustles or see shadows. Months later, Newton stared into the dark, eyes faintly glowing. Beneath the ranch, something stirred. What do you think? Was the creature Sarah's granddad, or something older? Did the HOA know and cover it up? Could Mark and Sarah have trapped it for good, or is it still waiting? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you guessing.